Senior cricket journalist Pradeep Magazine, former India cricketer Nikhil Chopra with me in the studio, and also our consulting editor Boria Majumdar joins us from Kolkata. Pradeep, extremely important developments today in the court where the onus has now come back to the Mudgal panel, the original panel that the Supreme Court had entrusted with the probe in this matter.
Well, as we've been repeatedly saying, this is the best course of action to do because this panel has done a very competent job, and if there had to be another panel, why another panel? Same panel and with more investigating powers, which the Supreme Court has said they will.
But are you confident that this arrangement can work where a panel can take help from outside agencies and get to the bottom of this?
See, let's not forget that Mr. Mudgal has been Chief Justice of the High Court. He's the judge. And they have this acumen how to deal with these things, and if he gets the help of the investigating authorities, be it CBI or maybe he would want his own officers who are dealing with it, they can take it away from, say, Delhi Police or Bombay Police or even from CBI and do a coordinated probe. So I don't see any reason why they won't be able to do this to its proper conclusion.
Boria, what about Niloy Dutta? He says, apparently recently as today, he said that he hasn't accepted the IPL Governing Council position, but his name is there on the website. Isn't there a clear conflict of interest as far as his position in the panel is concerned?
It is, Shivani. Your guess is as good as mine that whether he should be there or not. But the fact is, what you rightly said, that he said he's not accepted the IPL GC position. Then how on earth was his name there? Why has he allowed his name to be there? When Sunil Gavaskar sent out that release with the names, why did Niloy Dutta not object? Why has he not made his objection public? Several questions come up, but the fact is, at this point in time at least, Niloy Dutta will be part of the panel unless this is raised in court. I just want to make a point. Pradeep Magazine is spot on. In fact, I can tell you this, that the Mudgal panel is currently deliberating and making a list of officers that they will ask for. They are working out the modalities which they will ask for from the Supreme Court when the hearing resumes, stating that the number of officers, particular officers, the kind of people, the kind of agencies that they know that they would want to reach the bottom of this case. They will also specify a timeline. If I understand, it will be anywhere between 4 and 5 months.
Pradeep?
No, to be fair to Niloy, in fact, if you read his report, see, he's given a separate report. He's the man who actually has quoted, revealed in his report what happened in Chennai police did, what Sampath Kumar's revelations, they are in his report. In fact, he has gone one step ahead of saying that there are players involved. So to be fair to him, despite being part of the board, he has been fair.
But he has to quit his position if he has one.
Obviously, he's part of the board. I'm just saying that to be fair to the man, his report itself is as damning as the other report was.
All right. Interestingly, the issue of the tapes of the deposition made in front of the Mudgal panel also came up during the hearing today, and while the SC allowed the audio recordings of 3 key depositions by the President N. Srinivasan, CSK Captain MS Dhoni and the IPL Chief Operating Officer Sundar Raman to be given to the BCCI as asked, it was what the Mudgal panel representative Gopal Subramaniam said in the court, which was very curious. Gopal Subramaniam said the committee had stopped audio recordings because of a suspicion that they were being made available to outsiders without the committee's permission. The depositions had been recorded between November 5th, 2013 to January 6, 2014 on equipment organized and facilitated by the BCCI. Subramaniam said that the recordings were of poor quality and not the high quality audio that had been promised to them. All the recordings of depositions were meant to be given to the panel and then deleted from the system immediately. It's understood that may have not been the case with the depositions. Now, the SC has asked the BCCI counsel Sundaram for an assurance that the content of these tapes would not be leaked to the media. The counsel was warned that if the information did get out, he would be held in contempt. The court said cricket would be blackened, quote unquote, in the country if any portion of the tape's content was released. Pradeep, a very, very serious needle of suspicion on the BCCI here. This was recordings on BCCI equipment, and the Mudgal panel clearly in the court saying today that they suspected they were being leaked.
Yes, it's of course a very serious allegation, a serious matter. In fact, I did come to hear of this, that the tapes were being leaked. I was part of one of the. I also was there. I deposed there, and once you realize that whatever you have said in a say a court probe, the tapes are going to have been leaked. It would be unnerving for a lot of people, because a lot of people are so. Yeah, so if they realize that what they are saying is going to be heard by the board officials, what are they going to say there? I think this is something.
But it's fair to say that that's the suspicion here, that the board officials got hands on those recordings.
Well, the suspicion we all had, not because of the Mudgal panel. They didn't say anything. We came to know on our own that the board, it seems, has all the recordings of the tapes, which was very unnerving and shocking.
Boria Majumdar was also one of those people who deposed in front of the panel. Boria, what do you have to say about this extremely severe charge?
You know, this is just massive. I mean, Pradeep put it spot on. It was very unnerving. By the time I deposed on the 16th of Jan, the recordings had been stopped, because by then the Mudgal panel had apprehended that the recordings were being leaked. How did it happen? They would be recorded. The BCCI was responsible for providing the facilities of audio recordings. The meetings would be held in a hotel. There the facilities would be provided by the board, and then the Mudgal panel would be given a CD of the recording. So in the hard drive of a laptop, or in that recording device, in the memory, the recording could easily be stored and could be leaked by the people who did the recordings to others. So it was a very, very serious thing, and from what I understand, the Mudgal panel overheard such conversations and put a stop to the recordings.
Nikhil, your take on this? This is, you know, the behavior of the BCCI, or the charges against it, just keep getting graver by the day. This is a very serious charge. This was a Supreme Court appointed probe panel.
Well, without a doubt, you know, with the suspicion that's come out, I'm not 100% sure, because to me, you know, it hasn't been done. But if it is the case where it has been leaked, then it's very unfortunate. You know, you shouldn't think that anybody would go to that extent when you're, like Pradeep sir said, deposing, you know, in front of a Supreme Court probe panel being set up, that who's listening on the other side. You know, it is a little scary, but I hope the suspicion is not true, Shivani.
Well, we can only hope, but you know, our hopes have been dashed in the past, Nikhil. Boria Majumdar, Pradeep Magazine and Nikhil Chopra, thanks a lot for joining us. A very curious twist to this entire BCCI saga in the Supreme Court.